Good morning. Today is the last day in July. You wouldn't know. It's about 48 degrees right now. We are in Vermont. We are far north of the 5 box. We are southeast actually of the Manitou area, and we are heading into an area we haven't been in, I'm going to say, in 2 years. So we're kind of coming into here a little bit blind, but so far the camera's being an asshole, to be blunt, because it's not acting right, but it's got no excuse today. We'll hope it doesn't make my day any more annoying than it needs to be, but we are going to head in. We are looking for sign. We're kind of going in blind. That's the plan. We don't know what we're going to find. The 5 box has been kind of quiet as far as the family group has gone this year, so we're going to do something different, and we're going to get in and see what we find. Okay, so it's obvious I don't remember this trail as well as I thought I did, because the first 100 yards in was actually kind of grueling. There's a lot of down logs you have to kind of shimmy over and go around. It's not as easy as I remember, so there is kind of a trail through here, but it's a little bit of a bitch, so a little bit of that. So let's take a look here. Since we're here, the ground seems a little spongy. We'll see. I don't remember this area being overly swampy, but again, what I do remember is all this brambly stuff here where we're out on, this is where we are actually. So the camera is determined to be an asshole today. I'm getting a new one. So when I throw this one in the water and don't have a video today, we'll know I got pissed off. So what I was going to say is the last time I was here, the temperature was much warmer, and we'll see if today plays out. Basically, what I remember the last time is the bushes in front of you. Let's kind of throw down. The camera's going to stop being an ass. It's being an ass. Thank you. If it'll stop being an asshole. Again, for right now, 50-50 odds, I'm going to get annoyed with it and throw it in the woods and just go for the hike itself. But what I was trying to say with the camera not helping at all is, in warmer weather, these bushes are infested with spiders. So if I come out and I'm covered in orb weaver spiders again, that will be expected. For those that are arachnophobes, this might not be the hike for you, just so you know. And with Manitou, absolutely not. You'll be picking them out of your hair. That has happened, and it is par for course for the area that you're in right now. So enough of that. I'm going to get back on the trail and head further into we're basically heading to the back side of that pond, and there's an area around there with a stream that runs through. We're going to follow that for a while today, look for signs of life. That is my overall plan. Again, camera behavior notwithstanding, if it's doomed to be a jackass, it's going to do that. You're showing your age as I scold my camera on camera. A couple of things to cover on my mind too, some Bigfoot related, some not. Some is more life lesson like. But we're out in the middle of John Muir-esque woods, so what better place to do that kind of a thing? Not everything has to be about Bigfoot. Sometimes you're just about being out there. And because it is, it's right now batting around 48 to 50, and it's not really going to get above mid-50s today up here. So apparently Vermont gets an end of summer when July ends. I'm not minding the cool area. I actually had to put a fleece on to be comfortable today. So that's interesting, but a refreshing change. And I'm going to do a segment break now before the camera auto-saves on me again, because it seems to like to do that. I don't know why, because today it's not muggy. It's not particularly cold, so you really don't have any excuse. And we're going to cover a little bit of ground, get to the other side of the pond, or at least a more scenic outlook, and we'll pick up from there and start the video proper. This is just more of this is where we are today kind of a thing. This is the scene. You got mountain in the background. You've got all this lovely pondishness around here. And again, if I come out covered in spiders, that happened before too. They don't bite. It's fine. Whatever. They're spiders. They look creepy. They don't hurt you if you don't bother them. It is what it is. So let's move on. We will take a break and catch up in a bit. Okay, we are potentially going to depart for a second, where we're going to go up here. There's a clearing, apparently. We're going to go take a look, because there is a pond over there somewhere. I don't remember it being an overly scenic pond, but we're here and we're going to do it anyway, because there's apparently at least a moose trail, if not an actual trail, that leads sort of that way, so it's not majorly difficult, minus the uphill factor. And we're going to see where we come out, and we will take things from there. So in other technical difficulty news, my phone is apparently being an asshole too, so it's going to be an interesting day for that. So be prepared for grumpitude with the commentary, in spite of the fact we're in some awesome country. Or is this just a deceptive thing that leads nowhere, because it wouldn't be the first time. What's over there? Or it could just be a downhill slope, because the pond is more over that way, if I remember. So what the hell is this? Now there's a pond over there, of sorts. But the trail doesn't go over there, so into the bush. Or at least up to that tree to see what we're looking at. See if it's worth going through all this lovely grabber shit to do that. But or is that deceptive? You know what? It is deceptive. If you look down there, let's zoom in. It's nothing but trees. So yeah, the pond, is off in that direction, and it's like a scumpy mud puddle, so we're not going to really go that way. We're going to return to the trail and head back on our original heading and let the day take its course from there. So I don't mind the cooler air, though. That's actually kind of refreshing. Let me find the trail-ish again, and we'll make our way. Although actually, if we go down the hill here, we'll intersect with it anyway. I'd rather do it with the path of least resistance, though. So where does the trail go? Why is it was easy to find going up than going down? Is this it? Fucking grabber rushes. That's why I want to take the trail, because I don't want to struggle with the terrain any more than I have to. I think it's I'm guessing. Obviously, I'm not lost per se. I'm just up the hill and off the beaten path. Let me see. Is this... you stupid son of a bitch. No, it isn't. But I'm not a fan. You know what? Jesus Christ. To those that are religious, pardon my French, for... Okay, back up on the hill by the root ball, where at least I can see where I'm semi-going. We'll go down at that angle. Get smacked in the face with vegetation again. Awesome. And pardon the... I mean, I know where I'm going. I'm going down there, but... There was a second ago a friggin' trail. Where the hell it is now? So what I'm going to do is take a segment break, navigate back to the trail. We'll pick up from there. Okay, we're back, and we obviously made it down the hill from the deceptive trail, which we did eventually find. We were probably about 20 feet to the left of it. But we're back on it, and we are making our way to, if I remember this area right, I have to kind of angle around the pond and get over to that over there to get into the stream area. I have to maneuver some waterway here. I forget how I did that. I'll get over there and surmise my strategic need in a minute. But there is more pond over there. Why overland it when you can actually just have the trail lead you to it? That seems to make more sense. For once, we're going to take the path of least resistance. Last few videos, I've kind of swung through all the freaking undergrowth and all that. I did a little bit of that today, but if it's all the same, there's enough to do of that shortly. We don't have to do it the whole time. Last week was an interesting exercise in navigation from the standpoint that I have to jump something over here if I remember. From the standpoint that we kind of ended up popping out a couple 100 feet to the left of where I thought I would, so these things I guess happen. So yeah, there's another pond over there. And how did I get over there from here? So we pop out here, then kind of maneuver the trail over there. And if it hasn't been raining, that should be crossable, or I guess I'm getting my feet wet, which is going to be cold. It's cold today for that. But that's my whining voice. But the pond is over there, I think, or it opens up. So for a lovely pan of the area from the far end that we came in on. The pond is lovely. You can see that's a lovely shot right there. I don't know what effect the cold is having on the phone battery, so I turned it off to save that for later. We can take photos on the way out, I guess. We're going to head over this way. I got to remember kind of what... Ow! Stupid. Okay, let's not try to spike ourselves in the groin with driftwood. That was not fun. Let's go over behind this. That hurt. I now have my telltale scar for the day, or at least one scar per hike. And I have mine. So a little life lesson here, walking amongst berries, what look like blueberries, but no one's eating them. So that tells me they're not blueberries, and this is one of those things where you kind of get the lesson that if you don't know what the berries are, you don't eat them if you don't want to die. And that on steroids for mushrooms. If you like your life, you don't eat things like that if you don't know what the hell they are, because you will pay for that with your life. Alright, so I have to get over there. How the hell did I do this before? I have to go back around this. We're going back in the woods. Sort of, kind of, for a minute. Go up and around this tree. Sort of. And of course, just to be an asshole, there's a big tree in the way. But it is more or less passable, and we more or less know where we are because we're right on the corner of the pond. And actually the trail sort of kind of goes this way. You just have to go up and around and or under this tree. I guess we can kind of hop things here as soon as... So the camera cut out when I jumped over a tree. Like I said, the camera's determined to be an asshole today, so... Can I walk over this? Looks like a beaver dam, but let's have a look and see if I'm going to take a swim if I try this or not. So, I don't know how passable this is so far. Yeah, it's definitely a beaver dam, but is it thick enough to have me cross over and not go for a swim? I'm wondering if there's an easier way over. I'm going to look for that because I don't necessarily trust this. That'll be plan B. Let's see. The trail's kind of back up over here, so let's pick that up and see what we can find over here. I obviously did this before, but the weather conditions were different in preceding weeks. So anyway, if the camera will stop being a douche, we will get into some other stuff. So in the community, I guess this is community related, there is, I don't know how many of you are on Reddit, but there is an account on there, potentially the head of the BFRO, potentially a faker, but he plays the role well in that he is arrogant to a point. All right, so, all right, there goes a great blue heron if I can catch him. Yeah, he got away. Not selfie mode. Jackass. So, as I said, the camera's determined to be an asshole. And deny. Okay, so if I get to the other side of this, am I on that, or do I have to jump twice? That is my question. And how much, because I'm getting to a point where it's getting harder to see where you are in the undergrowth, but this looks jumpable. Very jumpable, actually. So, does the trail actually take me? And the answer is going to be no, because I hear a second stream too. So, this one, however, also looks jumpable as I get my foot wet and make the whole point moot. So the answer is yes, it's just a matter, I'm going to kind of plant my foot there, suck it up if it gets wet, because I didn't trust the rock, it wasn't flat. But gotta get through this shit and more or less into the tree line. A third pseudo crossing, and just kind of remember where we are. So bear in mind, we're talking about just being a wuss about getting our feet wet. The truth of the matter is, if we honestly had to wade straight across, we wouldn't die. We would just be a sissy. So back to real and or fake Matt Moneymaker. He is on Reddit and attacking Richter Riolo and his show. I don't normally take sides in spats like this, but I'll say this for off the Richter. Sometimes it's funny, sometimes not so much, but Richter is consistently, and we're going to go over here and look over the hill because I think I have a better chance of getting there from here. You just look through the trees if nothing else. Richter is a shoot from the hip kind of guy. And yes, he's gay, who fucking cares? If that bothers you, get over it. You know, you've been in the Bible Belt too long. I didn't say that. He is somebody who will call bullshit where he sees it. That is not a bad thing. So, Moneymaker is whining, well, he attacks everybody. No, he attacks the people in the community who generate bullshit. And yes, there's water down there, but this is going to get all eye pokey. Yeah, I'm not going to go down through all this stuff, but I'll get a look. Son of a bitch. Whereas Moneymaker is on Twitter every day, randomly making up, finger quotes here, facts. And there was a time when I called him out on Facebook, and his only answer to me was, well, who's had a longer running TV show? I'm like, here's the bad news. Being on TV does not make you an expert. It makes you a guy with connections and good marketing. Not the same thing. So we're going to continue this in a bit. I'm going to take a break and take some shots from up here, and we'll pick things up after. So where the camera's behaving itself. Okay, we're back. So, again, Monkey Maker versus Off the Richter. Off the Richter is, it's designed to be parody to a point, but he does have a point in pointing out the bullshit. You don't mind me getting all pointed. Not that I'm pointing fingers or anything and making bad puns while I do that. But, yeah, Richter's style is such, you either love him or you hate him. Like I said, he can be funny sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes. Moneymaker is an arrogant so-and-so. If you've seen him on Finding Bigfoot, you know what I'm talking about. Of all the crew, Renee is the so-called skeptic, but I mean, you could spend 5 minutes in a room with her and not want to biff her in the head. Cliff I've met. Cliff is a nice guy. I've met Bobo. Bobo is not playing a character. Bobo is what you see. He is Bobo. And again, nice guy in his own right. Moneymaker, not so much. That's my opinion. Some people may love him, some people may not. I don't. Never really been a fan. Such is life. So, last week, I noticed that one of my videos that got posted, it had two comments on it that were, interestingly enough, blotted out by YouTube for the first time, making me think they were kind of probably less than friendly, which is okay. YouTube does allow for negative feedback, and I was in that video, I believe, ragging on the community to some degree, and that is my opinion. I have a right to it. I've been doing this since 2003 for some retrospect, and the community has not always been that nice to me, so if I look back at the community with somewhat of a jaded look, I'm sorry, that's my experience, and I speak to it. And again, if you said something nasty and YouTube blotted you out, that's not me being gutless. I can handle criticism and respond to it. God forbid I actually have some action on my channel, but regardless of that, it was not my hand that did that. It was YouTube's own little algorithm thing that doesn't like meanie language. What is the easiest way to make entry into the spider field here? So when I was talking about the spider field before, we're about to walk right into it here. I guess this is where we're heading in. And this is all, it's probably too cool for them to really be a factor today, but I'm going to want to walk over there and get away from this stuff. So we're going to kind of go directly through this stuff and try to avoid wet feet, if possible. Because what we're looking to do is get over to the tree line over here. Sorry. And there's a spider on me now, but not a orb weaver, one of the little guys. And again, you notice I see a spider on me. I don't freak out. They're not, unless you actually try to smoosh them, they don't try to bite you, as a rule. They are, as the saying goes, more afraid of you than you are of them. Alright, so as I yap and I kind of survey my way through this loveliness, there's a certain way to go where I'm not going to get my feet wet and walk through swamp the whole way, because that's not desirable. But there you go. It opens up, that usually means because there's a puddle right here. But if you like a lovely view, here you go. Hold on. There you go, if you actually get the zoom to work. And if you go up, if you see him, there's the heron. Hopefully I got him. If I didn't, so be it. But lovely pond, lovely pond, lovely pond. And into the meadow and the tree line. And back to normal view and recenter. Hey, look, it actually obeyed me. Oh, nice. Alright, kind of opens up here. This is kind of what I did before. There was kind of a pseudo trail through the things where I kind of made my way. Because if I remember right, I made entry over there, past a bunch of this driftwood looking stuff poking out of the wet ground. And the wet feet factor seems to want to follow me, which means we probably have had rain in the last, we have had rain actually in the last few weeks. plenty, so this is probably wetter than it was drier the last time. But I'm going to get over here, attempt to minimize my foot wetness here. And that is now a pipe dream because that was all muck. Feet are now wet, so be it. It was inevitable. Let's get closer to the tree line. Yeah, this shit's all wet. It is what it is. And I know I say that too much, Linda. Sorry. So the camera auto-saved on me again. I don't know where that trailed off. I was whining about walking in the muck anyway. As we get closer to the camera getting chucked in the water after I extract the SD card, of course. But, so the other thing on my mind, this is more of a life lesson kind of thing, is I recently left a job. And I did so for mental health reasons. I was not suffering from mental health, but the key word in this equation is yet. The job is not who you are. It does not define you, nor should it. And to drive that point home, if you find yourself waking up on a Sunday night in trepidation of going into work, that is your first warning sign that your job is not a healthy place to be. Trying to ascertain my way in here. So that is something to bear in mind. My better half is currently going through that, and she just recently kind of came to the same conclusion that this is livable. One of her coworkers actually had signs of a stroke. So if it isn't clear, that is a huge warning sign that you need to take care of yourself before your job. Especially if you're on a dead-end project that you know is failing and you can't fix it yourself single-handedly. It's not worth, I mean, maybe your company expects you to freaking do that, but that's not a reasonable expectation. So don't do it. You and your health should come first. If you love your job and it's your passion and all that, that's one thing. If, on the other hand, like myself, you get up and you have trepidation of doing it, and you know you're going to get screwed over a couple times in a given day, I did not pick the best path here, then it's time to rethink your choices. You know, I said I didn't want to bushwhack today. Well, that doesn't seem like that's immediately in my future. So, I'm gonna have to worm through this crap in order to find some open area to come out in. I don't remember this being the bitch that it's proving to be, but I also remember being further over there. So, in my impatience to get out of the muck, I'm paying for it. So what I'm going to do, much as you people love to see me suffer through this, I am going to take a segment break and battle my way through this down to the stream on the other side, at which point we'll be back. Okay, so the conditions this year are completely different. Many grabber bushes later, now eye poker stuff, and an element of cursing, we walk out to what is immediately water. This was walkable last time we were here. Let's step out without dying and basically get out here where we can walk. And autosave aside, so this is all flooded. We're very limited in our access this year. I'm going to kind of skirt the rocky point here to kind of make the point. This is all water. This was not like this last year. Last year, 2 years ago, this was all meadow and you could walk it. I'm looking out this year and this whole thing is nothing but water. So not wanting to navigate through the muck. This is lovely, but we're going to take our shots from here and I think it's going to be a day of admitting our limitations and now bushwhacking all the way back through there, now that I know this whole trip was kind of the joke on me. I had hoped there'd be an ability to get the drone up in here, but as you can see, where are you going to put it without frying its electronics due to water? So instead, we'll take pictures from this rock and then work our way back and go from there. I'm going to take a break between now and I think we're going to go up through there because it's looking a little bit less grabber bush infested, because I'm probably all chewed up from that on the way in. I can already feel a new scrape on my shin from that, so it is what it is. I come home with new ones every week, so that's nothing new. But anyway, we're gonna take a segment break before the camera's kind enough to auto save on me again and take some pictures of this loveliness, if the phone will behave itself. Like I said, it's a lovely day, so why the cameras are being assholes today, I have no idea. I need new equipment, I guess. You heard me, your days are numbered. And yes, I talk to my camera when I'm pissed at it. I'm just kooky that way. But we're going to do a segment break. We'll be back in a few. Not sure if we're going to do that in or out of the grabber bushes, but we'll figure that out when we get there. Part of the day that was not expected, but c'est la vie. So the trip back was definite proof of the stay to the left theory. Still not perfect, because these goddamn bushes are just Satan incarnate. I'm going to walk out here and just take my lumps, because I am, if I can get through this, and over, well, apparently we can't. And I'm stumbling now. So I'm going to pop out here, and hopefully I don't walk right into muck. That has been my luck so far. But this does seem to have some solidity to it. But I'm out of the goddamn grabber bushes. We are still recording. The camera hasn't fucked me yet. Pardon my French, I'm annoyed. And so back to the life lesson thing. Don't be your job. Don't let your job be you. And mental health is more important than your job. And at that point, screw what your boss says, because he probably would rather, he'd probably be fine if you drop dead. Unless they're a nice person, but not every boss is. And even those that seem like bosses, Dan, you know who you are not. And if you do see this, not current Dan that I work with, old Dan that I used to work for, you know who you are and you know you suck. You seemed like a nice guy until you prove otherwise. And I'm on to you. So we're back in the muck, because I can feel my feet sinking, and not to the point where I'm right up on the water yet. I am going to take the opportunity to get some photos in, so I'm going to resume filming when I get over there. Let me do this right, not up. You zoom in and you go down. So if the camera over there to that tree line, and once we're there, we'll pick up again where we can do that. But I'm going to get some photos here, and then I have to kind of navigate the water and keep wet feet to a minimum if at all possible. And I'm just going to, this might make for a choppy video, but it's the nature of the terrain. And here in the spider field, so far I don't see a lot of spiders. I'm not minding that. But we're going to continue, but we're going to take some photos as we go. So we're going to focus on that for a little bit. Shifting gears, we'll be back once we hit the tree line again. So I know I said I was going to wait till I get back to the tree line, but you know, time for a quick bitch about electronics in general. My phone is currently updating itself without asking, so as much as I'd like to take lovely pictures of all this, the asshole phone decided it was going to update itself. So it would be nice if the electronics you owned in your life were actually things that would listen to what you want and not do what it wants itself. But that doesn't seem to be the course of the day, so we're going to walk back to the tree line, and hopefully camera can't even stay on to have me harp about the other camera. It's like there's a conspiracy of cameras today. That's all I'm going to harp about today. I'm basically killing time till the fucking phone gets done. Pardon my French. I'm in a grumpy mood, you can tell, because things are not going the way I would like. It's a lovely setting, and I am going to price cameras when I get home, because I've had this one fuck up on me too many times. And I know I'm swearing more than I normally do, so if I get flagged by YouTube, so be it. But I'm not monetized, so it's not like they can really do that much. They could take down the video, I guess, but I've had F-bombs in other videos. As far as I know, they're still up. But, you know, it'd be nice if the camera would actually not have to update, or the phone wouldn't have to update when I'm in, basically when I'm in the middle of nowhere. Because right now, if I actually had something happen, I got injured, I gotta wait for the phone to update and hope it doesn't freaking crap out on me so I can actually call for help. There's that factor too. So Samsung, go to hell. Your phones suck. Not as bad as Apple, and that's why I don't have an Apple iPhone, and Apple defenders can shut up. I don't want to hear it. I'm going to go on a segment break again and get over to the woods and get out of this lovely mossiness, and we'll go from there. But so far, the day's lovely, the weather's lovely, the scenery's lovely, the cameras can kiss my ass. More at 11, and back to you, Bob. Through the tree line on the other side, as you can see, we are over here on this side. I have to go back around this charming tree. How the hell did I do this the first time? Oh, I kind of shimmied this thing. Case in point, I'm going to make a point here. Right there, this, right here. Every tree manages to have a groin poker. And that's exactly what I call that. That is a groin poker. So if you sit down to shimmy over the tree, you're going to put your boys right on that. Don't do that. That will hurt. Kind of a demented point to make, but a good one. A potential life lesson that will alter your ability to have children potentially. You might want to have those one day. So we're back over here. And now we're just kind of making our way back. We're going to probably go up the way a ways to, once I find the trail again, sort of. We're on it more or less. It got overgrown in this section. Or was I down here? I was down here because that all goes that way. I'm going to assume this is still sort of the trail. It looks like the trail. It just got overgrown. And it is. We're not so... It's defined enough you won't get lost. You just lose it a couple of times, backtrack a few steps and find it. Amateur level hiking navigation stuff. So we are going to, now that the phone's done thinking for itself, take some photos. So along the way, as I yap, we are going to take some segment breaks starting now to take in all of this loveliness and get photos. So, because you guys actually seem to like my photos, so we'll do that. And we'll be back in a bit as I stumble over my own words. But bump. Glad I did it the one time, but so we're back. We're kind of heading towards the outro. We're kind of almost back to the car at this point. There is over there, if you want to call it another pond, it's a basically a mud hole with sticks. Last time I remember, it wasn't overly scenic, but it is potentially accessible if we are going where we think we are. I may be about to backtrack, but again, the trail is not that, the road is not that far, so I'm not overly, actually it's not the trail, it's just an opening, so we'll see where we are in a minute. We may not have gone where we thought we did. We'll figure that out in a minute. We're not lost. We might have to just go back. I do remember the initial trail we were on being a lot more overgrown, so let's see if this pops out on a different section of the road. Finding the car from there would be easy, but let's make sure we aren't second guessing ourselves first, because there are a lot of little side trails here. But I do see a sign of sorts up there too, so that might be hopeful. We're not on the same trail. We did a side trail here, but by the same token, the road's right there, so I might have found an easier way in that I don't have to overland through all the crap I did in the first place, but oh well. All right, we're at the road, so we're going to get to the car. We are going to probably go a little bit further north to do a flyover, and then we'll see where the day goes from there. So if in fact this is the rest of the video, yes, I got grumpy with cameras today, and thanks for watching. We will keep an eye out for Biggie as we go, but he doesn't seem to be in the neighborhood today. That's not new. We hope you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you haven't already, if you feel like doing so, and we'll catch you next time. Thanks. This will actually be the outro. I just want to make a side comment that the entire day today has been, I don't know if I got the one heron on camera, but the entire day has been nothing but blue herons giving me the slip also. I pulled up here in this area, and there's one flying off right as I pull up, just to continue the theme of the day, just to end my video on a grumpy note. So it's been kind of a grumpy day. You know, not every day is perfect. The weather's nice. I am going to call this one here. Again, subscribe if you want, and thank you for watching, and we'll catch you next time. Hope you enjoyed the video.